namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudiraye nastakleshu bhatleshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate tamashloke bhaktir bhavati naistaki.
So, thank you for coming for the Bhagavatam class. Our first Bhagavatam class in a weekly Bhagavatam class, and hopefully in a series of many classes. That today we will study the purpose of the study of the Bhagavatam. And I would like to start with reciting the Krishna Lila stuff from Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami, he glorifies the Bhagavatam here. So I will recite it, and I would like to ask you to listen very attentively, because afterwards I will ask you about the characteristics of the Bhagavatam which Sanatana Goswami is glorifying, is praising in this song. Because by understanding these characteristics, we can understand something about the purpose of the study of the Bhagavatam. So this is Krishna Lila Stavam. I will first recite the Sanskrit. Sarva Sastra Deviyusha Sarva Padaika Sapala Sarva Siddhanta Ratnadya Sarva Lokaya Trippadam Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavato Prabhu Kalitvanto Dita Vidya Sri Krishna Parivartita. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O nectar churned from the ocean of all Vedic scriptures, a most prominent, transcendental fruit of all the Vedas. O you who are enriched with the jewels of all spiritual philosophical conclusions. O you who grant spiritual vision to all the people of the world. O life breath of the Vaishnava devotees. O Lord, you are the sun which has arisen to dispel the darkness of the Kali Yuga. You are actually Lord Krishna who has returned among us. Paramananda Padaya Prema Vasyaksharayate Sarvata Sarvaseshyaya Shri Krishnaya Namostute. O Srimad Bhagavatam, I offer respectful obeisance unto you. By reading you, one attains transcendental bliss, for your syllables rain pure love of God upon the reader. You are always to be served by everyone, and you are an incarnation of Lord Krishna. Madeko bandhu matsangin matguru man mahadana manistarka matvarsya mat ananda namostute. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O my only friend, O my companion, O my teacher, O my great wealth, O my deliverer, O my good fortune, O my bliss, I offer respectful obeisance unto you. Asadu sadhu tadayin ati nichat sataraka Srimad Bhagavatam, O giver of saintliness to the unsaintly, O uplifter of the very fallen, please do not ever leave me. Please become manifest upon my heart and my throat, accompanied by pure love of Krishna. So, after hearing this beautiful song of Swami, so which characteristics have you noted that Sanatan Goswami is bringing forward about the Bhagavatam? What would be the reasons then for studying the Bhagavatam after hearing this clarification? Any feedback?
Incarnation of Lord Krishna.
It's an incarnation of Lord Krishna. So, good point. The Bhagavatam is Krishna. No different. Other point. Yes.
Krishna reveals himself.
Krishna reveals himself to the Bhagavatam. Yeah. So it gives spiritual vision.
Syllables rain, love of God.
Syllables rain love of God. Even just the syllables, very powerful. Yeah. Other point. Yeah.
It's the life breath of Vaishnava.
Life breath of Vaishnava, the Buddhas. So, we heard different reasons for studying the Bhagavatam. But I will focus today on mainly three important aspects which were also present in this song of Sanatan Goswami. The first is, and the Bhagavatam is no different from Krishna. He's in the pages of the Bhagavatam. But that's good to know. But then, how can we extract Krishna from the pages of the Bhagavatam? That's very important. To know the technique, how to do that. And then the next point we will discuss today is that the Bhagavatam helps us to awaken our spiritual vision. And most important, the Bhagavatam helps us to create a revolution in our heart, a transformation of our heart. Because that's the purpose of hearing the Bhagavatam. That to help this transformation in the heart to take place. Now, it's good when you come to the Bhagavatam to bring maybe the first count of the Bhagavatam or an iPod, iPhone with pocket Vedas so that you can follow the verses. We will start with reading a verse from the first canto, chapter 3, verse 43. It's the second last verse of the chapter. And this first verse is on the topic spiritual vision. I will read the Sanskrit and you can repeat most of this. It's 1:3:43. Krishne Svadamupagate
Krishne Svadamupagate
Dharma Jnana
Narganyanadigisa
Kalonashtadvishamesha
Kalmanashtadrishamesha
Puranakadinodita.
Puranako Nodita
The word full word translation. Krishna
Krishna
in Krishna's
in Krishna's
Svadana
Swadama
own abode
own abode
Upagate
Upagate
having
returned
Dharma
Dharma
religion
Jnana
knowledge Adivi combined together Saha along with Kalo in the Kali Yuga Nasta Drisham of persons who have lost their sight Esa all these Purana Arka the Purana which is brilliant like the sun Aduna just now Udita has arisen. Translation. The Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode. Accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc., persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. So the first thing mentioned here is one of the first things Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport is why Lord Krishna descends to this world. So Srila Prabhupada writes, in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that he descends by his own potency, Atma Maya. His form, name, paraphernalia, abode, etc. are not therefore creations of matter. He descends to reclaim the fallen souls and to re-establish the codes of religion which are directly enacted by him. Except for God, no one can establish the principles of religion. Either he or a suitable person empowered by him can dictate the codes of religion. Real religion means to know God, our relationship with him, our duties in relation with him, and to know ultimately our destination after leaving the material body. So, why does the Lord descend? Yes?
To re-establish the codes of religion.
To re-establish the codes of religion, yeah, these codes of religion, who can establish them? What is such in the purpose?
Krishna, or either is third representative.
Yeah. He only can dictate the principles of religion. The principles of religion must come from Krishna. Nobody else can establish principles of religion. Now, a very interesting point is, further in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, in the Kali Yuga, the population is just like a royal addition of the animals. That's quite a statement. And he explains why he's saying that. They have nothing to do with spiritual knowledge or godly religious life. They are so blind that they cannot see anything beyond the jurisdiction of the subtle mind, intelligence, and ego. But they are very much proud of their advancement in knowledge, science, and material prosperity. So, Krishna is called Adokshaye. He is beyond the purview of our own mind and senses. Just we cannot perceive Krishna just through our mind and senses. And people in this world, they think themselves independent of the Supreme Lord, independent in all what they do. But the reality is that everyone we are completely dependent on higher powers, completely. We don't even know what is the energy that let our heart beat, that let our brain function, from where all this manifestation is coming. The scientists they analyze the manifestation, but what's the cause of the manifestation and what maintains all these laws and so on? That people are so bewildered. This topic is not on their agenda. They are busy with economic development and concern with the body, but not with their real self. So they are blind to spiritual knowledge. They are a royal addition of the animals. Because the animals, they are concerned with the body, with their own body, and they cannot think or go beyond that. A human being has higher intelligence and can understand to a certain extent his real position if it takes shelter of a real source of knowledge. That knowledge that explains his religious principles. Because by understanding these religious principles, we understand that Krishna is abhijna, fully cognizant of everything that happens in this world at any moment, and that he has full control, remote control. And that he is the real Swarat, completely independent. That we are all dependent. This is one of the first lessons one has to learn on the path of becoming God conscious. Now, the next verse in this chapter, because this verse 43 stresses the need for spiritual vision, and it explains spiritual vision. Yeah, that light comes from the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the light in this age. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna, he explains the essence of spiritual knowledge. The essence. That it's the essence of all spiritual knowledge you find in the Upanishads. But the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, that Krishna speaks. But the Srimad Bhagavatam is about Krishna. and Krishna's pastimes, about his qualities, about his activities, that and by studying the Bhagavatam, we create that spiritual vision which is encoded or is explained in Bhagavad Gita. It helps us to develop this spiritual vision. And that's called, and as we develop it, we become purified. That's another topic. But before going to the next verse, that I just read a few lines here where Srila Prabhupada speaks about torch bearers for the blind people of this age. In other words, if men in this age of Kali want to see a real light of life, thus they must take to these two books, and their aim of life will be fulfilled. Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of the Bhagavatam, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the summum bone of life, Lord Sri Krishna personified. So here, Srila Prabhupada stresses it again, the Bhagavatam is no different from Krishna. We must therefore accept Bhagavatam as a direct representation of Lord Krishna. And when we can see the Bhagavatam, can also see Krishna in person. They are identical. That's very important knowledge. But then the question arises, how are we going to extract Krishna from the Bhagavatam? And that method is explained in the next verse. That how we can invoke the presence of Krishna just by hearing and chanting the Bhagavatam. It's like in the Bhagavatam there are many stories of the Devas, and they are doing fire sacrifices to invoke the presence of Lord Vishnu in the fire. So in the same way, how by doing our jhaya or studying this Bhagavatam, can we invoke the presence of Krishna in our heart? Yeah. So I read the next verse. Tatra kirtayato viprashe bhuvitechasa aham satyanamam tatra nivishtastat anugraha soham va skapayishyami yataditam yatamati. There's one word which is very important in this verse, and that's the word nivishta, being perfectly attentive. The translation. O Lord Brahmins, when Sukadeva Goswami recited Bhagavatam there in the presence of Emperor Parikshit, I heard him with rapt attention, and thus by his mercy I learned the Bhagavatam from that great powerful sage. Now I shall try to make you hear the very same thing as I learned it from him, and as I realized. So here, Sutta Goswami says that I will now recite the Bhagavatam like I have heard from my spiritual master. So, Sutta Goswami was present when Sukadeva Goswami spoke the Bhagavatam to Maharaj Parikshit. That he was present, he was one of the many sages who wanted to be with Maharaj Parikshit when he decided to fast until death and prepare for leaving his body at the border of the Ganga, Yamuna. So important, of course, it makes a few points in this, verse, which are very important. That he says that, yes, I will tell you the same thing as I heard from my spiritual master. Means he's presenting it as he heard it. He does not add something or leave something out. No, he repeats it. The message, the Siddhanta of the message remains intact. That's one of the main qualities of a spiritual master. A spiritual master, he must say the same thing as Krishna says. Because we have learned in the previous verse, real knowledge of religious principles comes only from Krishna. So he says the same thing as he has heard from his spiritual master. And so it's going back to the Parampara to Krishna. If he does not do that, then there is a problem. Then the knowledge will not be transferred. Of course, in addition to repeating the words of Lord Krishna, he explains according to his realizations. Realization means one explains it to the point that one has brought these principles of hearing from one's spiritual master into practice. That how he experienced it in practice and how he realized it. And one can explain everyone can in that sense become a spiritual master. And it's the order of Lord Chaitanya that we become all spiritual masters. That we repeat his knowledge without change and explain it according to our realization. Even if we have little realization, if it's not much, but we can explain according to our realization, not above. Even if you have little realization and you explain that, that will affect the heart of people. Not speaking on the theoretical platform and without any realization. So reaching can be very simple. That you don't have to be a big scholar. Srila Prabhupada, he told the story of Saraswati, the daughter of Malathi. She was a toddler, like 3-4 years old. And during the Sunday feast, she would go to guests and ask, "Do you know who Krishna is?" and when the person would say no, then she would say, "Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead." Srila Prabhupada would say, "That's perfect preaching." So once little Saraswati went to a guest and asked, "Do you know who Krishna is?" And the man said, I don't want to know, let me. And Saraswati took her hand and slapped him in the face. And Srila Prabhupada said, "That's Nishtha, being fixed in devotion." So in that way, everyone can preach according to one's realization. But to do that, one must hear with rapt attention. And that's the key of extracting Krishna from the pages of the Bhagavatam. That the process, how to experience the presence of Krishna in the Bhagavatam. Now here, very authentically, because this is very important. So here, I read just the last lines of the purport of this verse. one should hear with rapt attention from the real person. So the real person is one who has heard with attention from his spiritual master and who repeats the words of Krishna without change and according to one's realization. So that means the real person. And then he can at once realize the presence of Lord Krishna in every page. Now it says the secret of knowing Bhagavatam is mentioned here. But then he says, so the only thing we have to do is hearing with rapt attention. But that may be something very difficult in this age. So he explains further how to cultivate that rapt attention. That's very important. That if we don't, what follows here, what Srila Prabhupada is going to explain, if we don't do that, we will not be able to hear with rapt attention. So, that's the first thing we should do. No one can give rapt attention who is not pure in mind. No one can be pure in mind who is not pure in action. No one can be pure in action who is not pure in eating, sleeping, fearing, and making. But some way or other, if someone hears with rapt attention from the right person at the very beginning, one can assuredly see Lord Krishna in person in the pages of the Bhagavatam. So what Srila Prabhupada here is saying is, we should all follow strictly these four regulated principles. Yes. I mean, no meat, eggs, or fish. No intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. Because these activities are contaminating the mind with lust, anger, rage, envy, madness, delusion, and a lot of other friends. That's very dangerous, because this lust will cultivate material desires in your mind, and you will run after these desires. Even while hearing the Bhagavatam, you think there is something much more important. So that's to put attention on something, to focus your mind. This is to be avoided. These actions are against the four basic principles of religious life. It means to be austere, to be merciful, compassionate, to be clean, to be truthful. It's very important. And when you hear with attention the Bhagavatam, then we will explain a change of heart, a transformation. Then the transformation will take place. And Srila Prabhupada explained this transformation in 1:5:11. This is the verse where he uses the word Viplava, revolutionary. So this 1:5:11. On the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories, of the name, form, pastimes, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord, is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed toward bringing about revolution in the impious lives of this world misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. So in the commentary, Srila Prabhupada, he speaks about this change of heart. Says we are confident that if the leading man of the world, certainly, we are confident that if the transcendental message of Srimad Bhagavatam is received only by the leading man of the world, certainly there will be a change of heart. And naturally, the people in general will follow. So here, Srila Prabhupada, he puts forward a higher principle. So, yes, we hear the Bhagavatam, and we will undergo this transformation of heart, but then that will affect in turn others if we take leadership. That's the preaching. That it's not just that the words are concerned, oh, I will purify my mind and my heart, I will get liberation, but the purification means also cultivating that feeling of compassion for others and give it to others. A mass of people in generally are tools in the hands of modern politicians and leaders of the people. If there is a change of heart of the leaders only, certainly there will be a radical change in the atmosphere of the world. That, and further on, Srila Prabhupada, he speaks about, he gives an analogy. There's a fire in the house, he says. And if there is fire in the house, then one will have no difficulty to warn the neighbors. And the neighbors, even if they don't understand your language, they will help, they will understand. You have to put the fire out. It's that. So everyone in this Kali Yuga is affected by the simple atmosphere of this age. And Srila Prabhupada said there are all a royal edition of animals, means in their next life they will become animals. They have created a system that makes people animals in their next life. And a devotee, his heart is full of compassion. He does not want that to happen. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada said we should cooperate together and to spread this message of the Bhagavatam and give it to others. And that spirit of cooperation will please Srila Prabhupada and the previous acharyas in Krishna. So that's a very important point. It's also the process of going back to Godhead is not just being concerned with one's own purification, but becoming an instrument in pleasing Krishna's pure devotees. So it's a combination of that. And Sutta Goswami explains that also in the beginning of the second chapter of this first canto. He explains Susruso Shradhanasya Vastev Kataruchi Syammat Sivyavitra Punyatirtana Shiva. Combination of two things. Hearing the Bhagavatam with great attention. That's one thing. And then, after hearing with great attention, then one will Mahat Sevya will serve the Mahatma, the Krishna's pure devotee, follow the instructions of the Mahatma. So this is important to understand. It's not just hearing, my heart becomes purified, but it's seva, practical seva. Bring this in practice. Live according to the principles of the Bhagavatam. This scriptures is for Paramahamsas, the liberated persons on the transcendental platform, always engaged Supreme Lord and his activities. So that's the activity of a Mahatma. He has to become a living Bhagavatam according to these principles, and this is one of these principles. A real Mahatma is not just concerned, like we will hear later on from Pralatma, who says all these saints, they are in the Himalayas doing yoga to get liberation. They are concerned with their welfare and not with the welfare of others. But the devotee is not like that. Like Pralatma, Rachana, Najvotvice Padrachaya Vaitaranya Statvirya Maya Magna Chita Chotchetato Maya Chotchetato, that verse from the 7th canto of the Bhagavatam. Chotchetato Makashesha Indriyakta Mayaskaya Varamutvato Vimuda. So here Pralatma said that I'm not afraid of this material world. I'm always absorbed in thoughts of the Supreme Personality of God in his pastimes. So I'm okay, says Pralatma, right? I'm on the transcendental platform. But I feel pain in my heart. I'm concerned with all these who are after Maya Sukha, of this illusory energy of taking pleasure from a temporary. And I'm concerned with them, that because these fools and rascals, he says, they are just making plans for temporary material happiness. They are concerned with maintaining their families, societies, and countries, and that I'm feeling love for them. Well, so means developing love for Krishna means developing love for all living entities, because Krishna is everything. It's no question of developing love for Krishna if you don't develop love for all living entities. It's no question of getting love for Krishna if you don't love Krishna's devotees. Even they may have so many faults, and one may see so many things in their behavior, which may hurt to your sick mind. No, we should understand this principle. That's one of the important points we will learn from the Bhagavatam. How to come to real, meaningful relationships. This is not a social thing, a social behavior and enjoyment together and feeling good. No, it's going much deeper here. It's that sense of concern for everyone that requires humility and becoming very humble. So studying the Bhagavatam is meant to experience this revolution in our heart. So to come to that point of creating this revolution in our heart, we should take responsibility for learning and hearing the Bhagavatam in a steady way, because that's explained by Sutta Goswami in the first verses of the second chapter. We will sing it every time we will recite the Bhagavatam. Nastavesa Bhakti Nityamaya Siriya Bhagavati By regular attendance on the Bhagavatam, in the classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering service to the pure devotee, you have again that combination. Hearing the Bhagavatam, but follow the instructions and pleasing the spiritual master. because this is his mission, to give Krishna consciousness to others. So by doing these two things, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. There is a verse in the 4th canto of the Bhagavatam, Ratyantyante katam ishtat, Krishna ya prasamoyata, nirvaram yata bhuteshu, notpego yatra karshana. Whenever pure topics of the transcendental world are discussed, the members of the audience forget all kinds of material hankering, at least for the time being. Not only that, but they are no longer envious of one another, and they do not suffer from anxiety or fear. So, if you come to the Bhagavatam class, at least the time you are here, no envy in your heart. That you become peaceful, you feel connected with Krishna. So please make this as a priority in your life, to study the Bhagavatam. I came to Leicester just for that. That is my main purpose of being here. Offer you the Bhagavatam. I studied the Bhagavatam. I did the Bhakti-Vaibhava, the Bhakti-Vedanta. I did the whole Bhagavatam with Srimad Prabhu, Narayani Mataji, together with students who were very, very determined to the Bhagavatam, to study the Bhagavatam. That if you come every week and do that, hear with attention, and engage in the service of the spiritual master, then verse by verse we will come to the end of the 9th canto. And if you do this systematic study in that way, you will be liberated when you come in the 9th canto. And then you will enjoy here in the 10th canto, and have the right understanding how to understand. Not just that determination for regular hearing the Bhagavatam. That is so important. This Bhagavatam is a solution for all material problems. The devotee was distributing books, and he was distributing the Bhagavatam. And he came to a person, and he wanted to give you a book, and the person said, "Oh, I cannot read." The person said, "I'm too disturbed. I cannot sleep at night from the anxiety." And the devotee said, "Oh, then this book is the solution of your problem. Every morning we have class in our temple, and we read from that book. And we open the book, and now half of the devotees are falling asleep." but of course, that's not what we should do. We should hear with great attention, and then it will affect your heart. So thank you very much. This is an introduction. That next week we will go into the 10 topics of the Bhagavatam. What is the Bhagavatam about? We will also explain what is the Bhagavatam. It's a Mahapurana, and what are the characteristics of such a Mahapurana, and why is the Bhagavatam supreme? Why is the Bhagavatam? What makes it so special? We'll hear that next week. Any questions, please? Comments?
Maybe the different interpretation and realization. Because some people will say, "Oh, it's just interpretation," and so you can.
Couldn't hear the question.
So the question is that, can you tell something more about the difference between interpretation and realization. And, realization means I'm hearing the techniques, the spiritual techniques explained in the Bhagavatam, and then I inquire for my spiritual master. What does that mean? How can I apply that principle in my life? And if I apply it, what is the result of applying that? These are the things we have to understand that carefully. So explain today by hearing the Bhagavatam, your heart will come purified. And we will clarify later what all this means, what purification means. So we try to understand the spiritual technique and how to apply it in our lives, and then there should be a result. So it's then one has heard this from a spiritual master, and then one, after the Bhagavatam, one is going to apply that in one's life. Spiritual master has explained about cleanliness, and he explains cleanliness means you have to take a bath every morning before chanting. You have to wash your hands before taking prasad. So then afterwards you have to do that. If you follow this instruction, you will experience the effect on your consciousness. A mode of goodness will enter in your life. That you will be peaceful. It's not when you take prasad before you take a shower, then you feel clean. If you are dirty and take prasad, you are taking prasad, honoring prasad in ignorance. That's offensive. So these are just a few examples of how to apply this in our lives, and then you will experience the result. And that's realization. Living according to what you hear. Therefore I said living the Bhagavatam. And then you can repeat the words of your spiritual masters and add your realization and explain it. So interpretation refers to an intellectual process by which I'm going to put forward a theory and assumptions. This is not a method to achieve transcendental knowledge. This transcendental knowledge is realized, is coming from Krishna, coming down from Krishna unchanged. By hearing it from the right source, then it affects your heart. Means you will get the knowledge how to bring this in practice from within the heart. The insights, it's a mystic process. Krishna gives you these insights in the heart, and also externally through the spiritual master. So it's a mystical process, a process of mundane interpretation. It's useless to understand the spiritual topics, because it's based on, this is based on what we call an ascending path of knowledge. You try to find out the truth on your own strength. That's not possible. That's the methods scientists use, scholars use. It's in Sanskrit mainly. There are different methods, but the most important methods are that's pratyaksha and anumana. Pratyaksha is sense perception, but we explained before, you cannot experience Krishna by your sense perception. It is out of spirit, so that's not a method. And anuman is intellectual speculation, reasoning, logic. But Krishna is beyond logic. He creates the logic. He creates your brain. Your brain is material. How can you, with your brains, understand something which is beyond matter? It's not possible. Although we can use this knowledge to support the transcendental knowledge as it gives evidence of its truthfulness. But that's a supporting goal. So that's very important. We should learn to see to the scriptures. That's reality. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Denasmin Chatade Karnam Charnam Chara Tatadhyantara Praptiktya Statvanamuyate. He says, oh Arjuna, your body changes. From you, childhood, youth, boyhood, and you become adult and an older man, and then very old, and then you leave the world. That's your body changes. That's knowledge. My body changes. That everyone's body changes. This universal knowledge. Also, the whole system of purification of the heart. It's a scientific process. It's a slow process, but all stages are explained of this scientific process in the Bhagavatam. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has analyzed it in Madhurya Kanambini, has kindly summarized this process, and also the 6 Goswamis, Ada, Shasha, Shraddha, Tata, Sadhu Sangha, and so on. It's a scientific process, and we will try to understand this process through the Bhagavatam. It's detailed explained. So I hope this helps in understanding. Yeah. Thank you very much. We start on time, we stop on time. I'm very happy that you all come to hear the Bhagavatam. Please continue to do so. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hari
Lilasuka Prabhu ki
Jai.